The next uncommon habit on
What?
common sense is not so common. Now, you probably have heard that quote before, but what you may not know is it was penned by a famous French philosopher in the 17th century. His name was Voltaire. Now, believe it or not, I randomly ran into Voltaire while exploring Paris. And yes, I know the guy's been dead 250 years, but basically, I see this amazing building, the Pantheon. I didn't even know about this thing. I'm like, you know what? I want to see these things. So I go into this building. I'm just exploring, checking this out. They got some really cool exhibits. And lo and behold, there is the grave of Voltaire. Now, as a student of philosophy, I knew who this guy was. And I was dumbstruck that I randomly stumbled upon his resting spot. And I'm the only person down there. And I spent a good 10 minutes just in awe of where I was. But here's the deal. That magic moment was totally random. Now, my point here, gents, is the same thing can be said about success in life. It's random and it's all about luck. And a lot of people believe that successful people are just lucky. And yes, luck, aka randomness, is a factor. That being said, your habits, the consistent small actions that you take every day without thinking about it, those are a much bigger factor than randomness or luck. Habit number 1. Take the time to think about where you're going in life and how you want to define your own success. Now, gents, I've heard back from thousands of you guys over the years, and consistently, one of the biggest regrets I hear is that somebody was living somebody else's dream. They saw a wall, something they thought they wanted to achieve. They put up that ladder, they spend all this time and energy climbing that ladder to get to the top of the wall, to realize, hey, I actually don't want to be here. I'm on the wrong wall. Gents, this point applies to everything. Your career, your relationships. What defines success? Because if you're going after what makes another man happy, you are never going to be satisfied. Yeah, you may see everybody around you getting brand new cars and brand new houses, but is that something you want? Seriously, maybe you want to just be out traveling the world. Maybe it's something that you don't want to be a doctor like your parents want you to be. I know that's what my parents wanted me to be, and I started actually going down the med school route, and I realized this isn't what I want. Have the courage to define what success is to you and then take steps in that direction to achieve it. This next habit I call the double DP, the deep Pareto principle. Now, most of us have heard of the Pareto principle, that 20% of our efforts yield us 80% of our results. Now, this concept has been around for hundreds of years, and it's shown itself to be true in a wide variety of different situations. But what's interesting about this is you can go deeper. Let's look at that 20% and focus on the 20% of the 20%, the 4% that yields you the 64% return. And even deeper than that, the 1% that yields you the 50% return. Think about that, gents. If you're taking a quiz, and if 4 of those questions account for 64% of your grade. Now, I don't know about you, but any logical person here would say, you know what? I've got to get that one question right. And those other 3, I'm going to work really hard to get those right. And I'm going to spend the majority of my time on those, because those questions, those things that you need to be working on in your life, they are going to account for pretty much all of your happiness, all of your success, all of your ability to get the things done that you want in this limited time you've got on this planet. Now, this leads to the next point, which is, how do you identify what truly matters? Well, gents, let me introduce you to the priority matrix. Simply take a sheet of paper and a pen and divide it into 4 parts. Across the top, you've got urgent and non-urgent. From top to bottom, you're going to put important and then less important. So now you got 4 different quadrants, and you're going to drop everything that needs to get done on this piece of paper. Now, most people want to drop everything in important and urgent, but you can't do that. You can only put one thing in important and urgent because you can only focus in on one thing. Over on important, non-urgent, guess what? You can put 2 things there. Now, you may be saying, I got 50 things to do. Okay, put it down in non-important and urgent. Non-important, not urgent. That's where you put everything else. Because what I'm forcing you to do here is to realize you simply focus in on what truly matters. You're going to be amazed at what you're able to accomplish. And you'll also be amazed at those things that seem urgent but are actually not important, how they kind of just fall away. Now, some of you guys are saying, come on, Antonio, if it's going to get done right, I got to do it myself. Gents, that's the next habit you need to pick up. Drop being a control freak and instead find people that you trust, find companies that do what needs to get done better than you, and hand it off. True story. Talking to my friend Corey the other day, he's a business owner just like me, and he's saying, you know what? I was putting money in the stock market, choosing stocks, doing this kind of stuff here. I was losing money. All of a sudden, I start investing with Titan and their expert advisors, and boom, all of a sudden, I'm in the black and I'm having returns like I've never seen before. Now, as he's telling me this, I'm cracking up because I'm like, Corey, I've got Titan as a sponsor. I am going to bring this story into my next video. Seriously, gents, if you haven't heard of Titan, you need to check them out. They're an elite investing firm for the everyday investor. Their goal is to deliver the best online investment experience no matter what your income level is. And I can tell you, as an information acquisition marketer, I really appreciate the simplicity and the ease of use of their app. Basically, their app makes it very easy for them to explain exactly what's going on and how they're investing your money. And I especially love how their investment managers are leveraging the power of video to explain exactly how they're managing your money. Currently, they manage $600 million for over 30,000 investors, and they continue to grow daily. They have no performance fees, no lockouts, and a low flat advisory fee. All this, gents, is probably why they were named the top advisor of the year by US News. Again, this is a sponsored post and I am not a client. That being said, I've got friends that use them. I went through the sign up process just to see how easy it is. What I love is these guys make it easy to be able to get expert advice. To get started today, gents, go to titan.com/RMRS and get your first 3 months of expert investment management for 0 fees. Again, that's titan.com/RMRS. The next uncommon habit I'm going to recommend: play a sport. Engage in an activity that is painful, that you can downright get hurt in. Why? Because that is life. Life is full of pain and suffering. And if you don't learn to be able to deal whenever life hits you upside the face and knocks you down, because it will, then you are going to be in for a rude awakening when it hits you. All of a sudden you're 30, you're 40, and you just weren't prepared. You get prepared for taking a punch by getting punched. And I'm not saying you got to pick up boxing. I'm saying, though, find something that is a bit unforgiving. Something that whenever you make a mistake, you're going to get smacked. You're going to get knocked down. People that played sports like football, played, soccer, you know what it's like to get knocked down, to get beat up, and to put in all your effort and give your heart and soul and lose. And you realize, there's a lot more to life than just winning all the time. It's how you play the game. Guys, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. What sports do you recommend? But you guys, many of you guys have gone through this and you know that this has shaped you, and I can't stress enough having that habit and staying, maybe you can't play football all the time, but you can find maybe a way to coach. You can find a way to be involved. Go out running. I was a distance runner, and that's painful sometimes. Past a few miles, going a little bit faster, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Now, gents, if you're enjoying today's video, you like me getting a little bit more philosophical, do me a favor and smash that like button. By doing that, it sends a signal to the YouTube gods that, hey, this video is worth watching. Maybe more men will get their stuff together, but I appreciate it. Yeah, just smash that like button. The next uncommon habit, and I learned this in the Marine Corps, is 15 minutes is on time. If you are not 15 minutes early, you are late. Now, this isn't going to apply to everyone, not everywhere. And I know some of you guys have, maybe it's 10 minutes, but I would say there is nothing wrong with always being the person that has a reputation for showing up early, because you got to make that sales call. The guy said he's only got 5 minutes. You show up 15 to maybe even 30 minutes early. Guess what? The appointment before canceled. All of a sudden, he's got a lot more time. That gives you all of this time to talk about and pitch your idea, which you didn't expect to have. Those unexpected, those lucky, we talked earlier about luck. Luck doesn't exist, in my opinion. It's preparation meeting opportunity. That's luck. And if you are prepared, the opportunities occasionally will open up, and all of a sudden, you just being there, you being present. Yes, you've been auditioning for this role, but guess what? The other actors, they didn't think to show up early, and the guy has to go somewhere, and you were there. You all of a sudden, you got your 5 minutes. He's like, you know what? You are perfect. Maybe you're not perfect, but you're good enough, and we're going to go with you. You get your shot. That, gentlemen, is how you make things happen. You show up. Now, this next habit may sound impossible, but you can do it. Slow down time. Have you ever noticed that you're having a great time? She's absolutely beautiful. And all of a sudden that 3 hours went by. I mean, yeah, you're with a beautiful woman. Time flies. Other times, yeah, it is going to a crawl. When you were a kid trying to take a nap. Point being is that you need to have time, especially in the morning, in which time goes by slow. Highly recommend that you find a way to wake up just 30 minutes early, sit and enjoy coffee. Sit out there and watch the world move. And this is an amazing experience. And a lot of people say meditation. I'm all about meditation, but let's take it simple. It's because most of you guys aren't meditating. So simply just take 15 minutes, 5 minutes. There's a tradition over in Ukraine. Before you go on a journey, before you leave, everyone sits for 1 minute. And we just sit and we have this moment to think and to just say, wow, what a great trip. Whatever is going on in your head. Taking the time to actually open up your mind. And I'm not saying spend 30 minutes on the phone. I'm talking 30 minutes doing nothing, but just simply having an open mind. Thinking, maybe having a light conversation with a friend, with someone that matters to you. This right here is going to just set your day for success when you slow down time at the beginning to think, again, about where you're going and what you want to do. Now, this next point I stole from the book, The 4 Agreements, and that is the ability to see the light within every person. And it's difficult sometimes, especially if you're in New York, in a big city like Mumbai, people are stepping. And I read you guys' comments. You talk about how it's hard to be a nice guy when everyone around you is fighting and pushing. And it's like, hey, every man for himself. If you're a nice guy on an airplane, yes, I understand. You'll probably be one of the last guys off the airplane. But here's the thing. Look around and just enjoy and just be amazed at the people that are around us. Yes, I get it. A lot of people are angry. A lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people are scared with what's going on in the world. But when you take a second and you just simply look at like, wow, all of these people have a unique story. They've got something going on. What are the reasons why this person is so frustrated? And then you start to just recognize other people that aren't frustrated, that are simply enjoying life, especially a lot of our, grandparents, a lot of the people a little bit older who simply realize, they don't got much time left and I'm going to enjoy every moment. You start to be aware. You start to breathe and smell the air again. That is the thing. When you start to see the light and you realize every person has light with them. Some are a little bit dimmer than others, but some are just glowing. And that right there just makes you, it's gratitude. It's simply taking the time to realize, hey, I am happy to be here. It makes you feel good, guys. I know I'm getting a little bit, woo-woo here, but this stuff is real. So let's go to the next point. The next uncommon habit is to throw the ego out the window and to realize that you are an eternal student. And if you do this, you're going to stay young and you're also not going to be upset. Here's the thing. Life goes in cycles. And when you're on top, guess where you're going to go next? You're going to go down. I mean, if you're on the very top, you've got to go down to get to the next peak. That's the way it works when you're climbing mountains, right? That's the way it works in life. If you're starting over in an industry, yes, I get it. You were a captain. We see this a lot in the military. Lieutenant colonel gets out and he's used to commanding over 1,000 men and having this thing go, and he's starting over in the civilian world and he thinks people are going to call him sir. He thinks he's going in there with a big ego. He is going to fail. And this happens to so many people that go from one position in life and think they can just automatically carry it over. Now, you can, when you start over, you will move much quicker, especially if you stick down that ego, if you are the student, because you're going to see things, you've got experience, and you could go higher than you ever went previously. But the key is to keep that ego in check. As Ryan Holiday said, ego is the enemy, and I 100% agree. If you are not eternally learning, eventually you're going to trip up, you're going to fail, you're not even going to see it coming, and you're going to have people run right by you. So always remember, stuff that ego and be the eternal student. The next habit that's going to guarantee success, quit looking for the easy path. Understand those challenges, those obstacles that are in your way, that is the path. That is the way that you need to go, and ask for instead the strength to be able to bust your way through it, to be able to go over that obstacle, under that obstacle. Maybe get smart and actually go around the obstacle. But understand that you've got to bust through that because that's what's stopping everybody else. And that's the reason that most people do not achieve success. All these habits I'm talking about, they seem simple, right? Getting back to, common sense, it just isn't common. This stuff is out there. This has been talked about for thousands of years, but so few men actually take the time to apply. I don't ask for an easy life. And with my kids, this is something I'm really working hard because the society, the world out there is trying to say, hey, give your kids a better life. No, I'm trying to prepare my kids for the challenges they're going to face in life. I don't want to give my kids a better life. I want to prepare them better for life than what I was. And that's what I think a parent should go for. And that's what I think for you, what you want to take a step back and say, how can I better equip myself? What tools can I work on? I am always trying to be open to different ideas. And it's tough. I fail a lot of the time, just like you guys. But know that you have this day. You can pick yourself up and that you can continue to work on those problems. And when you accomplish them, there's no feeling like that. And that, gentlemen, for me, is just one of the things I put success in my life. I look at where I started and where I'm going and what I've been able to achieve. And that right there, you can't put a price on it. All right, Jen, so what video to watch next? How about this one, the skills that every man needs to know? I talked about habits in this video, but in this one, I break out skills. Don't worry, there are no repeats. It's a great video. A lot of you guys said so in the comments. And it's one that I think, if you've got kids, if you, just a young man, you definitely need to check out this video. If you're an older guy, this is one to probably pass on to a lot of younger guys as well.